So I'm here in Dry Tortugas National Park, Florida. I just got here not too long ago and about ready to set up camp. And when I came over to get my spot, I realized that my campsite was already occupied by hermit crabs. There are dozens and dozens of them around my campsite. So that was interesting. Apparently they climb up into the trees at night. So I'm going to set up my tent and go explore the island for a little bit. So a few days ago, I was in Washington, D.C., and I took the tour of Ford's Theater, where Lincoln was assassinated. Um, it's now a National Historic Site, so you can see the actual box where he was shot and the Peterson house across the street where he actually died. And one of the things that happened was when Booth shot Lincoln, he jumped out of the box onto the stage, broke his leg, but was still able to escape the theater. So later that night or the next day, I forget which exactly, but he wound up in the care of a Dr. Samuel Mudd, who set his leg and tended to him for a good part of a day, and then Booth left, and of course was later tracked down. But Booth, Mudd, was arrested and tried for conspiracy because he helped out Booth be on his way. And when he was sent to Fort Jefferson on Dry Tortugas, which was at the time serving as a federal prison. And I'm in the space right now that served as his cell. We're right above the Sally Port, which is directly below us, on the second level. You can see the three slits up there. Those are, if you were outside, those would be directly above the Sally Port. So yeah, this is the space where he spent most of his time on Dry Tortugas when he wasn't doing hard labor. And he did eventually get pardoned because he helped out with an outbreak of yellow fever that broke out here. So the president counted that as goodwill toward him, so he got pardoned. One of the things that Mudd left behind, though, was in the floor here. You can see these channels in the floor. Apparently the water, when it rained, would run into Mudd's cell and flood the floor, basically. So over time, Mudd carved out these channels to try and channel the water away from his living space. He spent a total of 4 years here before he was pardoned. And it's a beautiful day today, but apparently in the summer it can just be absolutely brutal. And of course, there's no AC now, so there definitely wasn't in the 1860s. But so it probably would have not been good to be here then. But so yeah, it was kind of neat being being in Washington just a few days ago, seeing Ford's Theater, and then coming to Dry Tortugas to see the cell where one of the conspirators was held. So, yeah, that's a little bit of the history of Fort Jefferson. So I'm down here at the end of Bush Key in Dry Tortugas. If you can see in the background, Fort Jefferson's back that way on Garden Key. I'm on Bush Key, and then just ahead of me is Long Key, and they're all connected. Well, now they're all connected. Sometimes they're not. The tides and hurricanes and stuff push sand around, so sometimes there's a channel between the keys, sometimes there's not. Right now they're all connected. But Long Key in front of me is a very popular and successful frigate bird nesting area. And it's off limits to the public year round. And the whole time I've been here, and I've been here almost a day and a half now, no matter what time of day, whenever you look over at Long Key, there's just a flock of frigate birds circling around, nesting and looking for fish, and there's always at least a couple dozen in the air around the key, and there's a grove of trees that they nest in. Kind of hard to see on the video, I think. I'm going to get some closer shots with my big camera, but yeah, it's kind of neat. They're just always there. Sometimes you'll get a flock that goes closer to the fort, but yeah, it's just, you always see them hovering in the distance. So I'm here still at Fort Jefferson on Dry Tortugas, and the sun is setting. I'm just sitting here on the moat wall, taking it in. Really beautiful day today. Then I have to leave in the morning, or tomorrow afternoon, with the daily ferry. Really great 2 days here so far. I'm gonna miss this place. So I don't know if you can hear this on the video, but all that crinkling, that constant din you hear, that is the hermit crabs crawling through dead leaves. And it's about 9 o'clock, 9:30 at night right now, and there are just dozens of them crawling through these giant dead leaves on the ground. Let's see if I can get closer to one. So I'm in the second level of Fort Jefferson and Dry Tortugas, and so one of the interesting things about the construction of the fort was that for the concrete that they made, they actually mined coral from, I believe, Bush Key, and when you walk around the keys now, they're just littered with dead coral. So I think that's where they got it from, but I'm not sure, as opposed to taking it out of the ocean. But the concrete's starting to show some wear. So when you walk around, you can actually see all the chunks of coral that they mixed in with the concrete. Because they didn't really have a steady supply of stone, so they used what they had. So a lot of it's coming loose, and so the floor is littered with pieces of coral mixed with cement. I don't know if you can see it across the water there, but that's a loggerhead key. It's got a lighthouse on it. It looks like it's really close, but in reality it's about 3 miles away. You can boat to it or kayak over to it, which I don't have a kayak here, so I don't think it's actually running either. I was out last night and the lighthouse was not on, so I don't know if it's not functioning or they just don't run it anymore. But that's loggerhead over there.
All right, now to make the ride feel a bit faster and a little smoother, we got alcohol. Now, if you had not had a chance to get any memorabilia for your trip today, we are going to do a raffle, where we're going to raffle off a few items out of our ship store. Anything of your choice. If you